Hey guys, Simon here bringing you another MTG Discussion video. As I'm sure many of you are probably aware, there's been a lot of discussions going on recently about Wizards of the Coast's policy on paying its professional players. If a pro was able to reach platinum status by grinding out the required points, they could depend on a steady check of $3,000 paid as an appearance fee if they were to attend and compete in the Pro Tours. This equaled out to be around $12,000 a year from appearance fees alone, not too shabby when added to prizes and other forms of income for these players. Now, this all changed very recently when Wizards of the Coast announced a sweeping reform to their appearance fee policy. Starting soon after the SOI Pro Tour, Platinum Pros would no longer receive the guaranteed $3,000 in appearance fees. Rather, they'd be paid a paltry $250 to compete at these Pro Tours. That's a staggering pay cut of about 90% of what used to be reliable income. Obviously, this is devastating to those who've already reached this level of play, but it also comes as a crucial blow to those working up to this achievement. Many serious players look up to these Platinum Pros as a sort of benchmark of success, to be paid good money for playing Magic the Gathering at a competitive level. To get there though requires tireless effort, travel, dedication, and of course, personal investment of both time and money. This change in policy on behalf of Wizards would mean that all those serious players grinding and earning their points have nothing to look forward to in the coming year. They've spent all this time, energy, and money thinking that at the end of the road all their hard work would be rewarded, only to find that it's basically amounted to nothing. Nothing guaranteed anyway. You see, Wizards took all the money they were saving from these promised appearance fees and added it to the collective prize pool for the World Championship. The total increased to about $250,000 in prizes, with the World Champion going home with a $70,000 check. Now, that's an amazing payday, but remember, they took what was guaranteed money from all Platinum Pros and added it to a conditional prize that only one person goes home with. Needless to say, the pay for being a professional Magic player now ranged from nothing to a lot, depending on skill and a great deal of variance. So, we as a community, along with the pros, read this information and we attacked in force. We used any means we could to display our disappointment at Wizards' decision. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, anything we could get our hands on. We even had a trending hashtag, #PayThePros. Through the power of collective disagreement, we impacted the change, which goes to show you that at least Wizards as a company is willing to listen to its players and its fans. For the time being, the appearance fees will remain unchanged through the 2016-2017 season, while the World Champion prize pool will stay at its increased state. It's a win for both the pros and the community who wishes to see them treated fairly. But this topic is still under review and could possibly be changed after the season. Only time will tell what their final decision on this matter will be. This change seemed rather bizarre to many of us in the community. Call us personalities, voices, what have you. But a majority of us didn't see the logic behind it. They knew this was a choice that many wouldn't approve of. It was viewed as unfavorable by almost everyone who heard about it. The backlash for the company alone wouldn't have been worth the change, so why did they do it in the first place? Well, Wizards hopes that this increased prize pool for its World Championship would generate more hype around the event, bringing in more viewers and elevating Magic the Gathering to legitimate esport level. Makes sense. Having people compete in a game with a grand prize being 70 grand? It sounds like the recipe for a popular esport event. Except for one minor thing, Magic the Gathering isn't an esport. We can argue and discuss this point all day, but currently, the world of competitive Magic isn't what many would consider an esport. By definition, an esport is an electronic sport played by competitive gamers where the primary aspect of the sport is facilitated by electronic systems, and the output of that esport system is done through an online media format. Magic the Gathering is a physical card game, at least how it's played at World Championships currently. So to get to esport level, they'd have to broadcast live through a system like Twitch live streaming, which they do. The problem here is that it's difficult to stream players playing a card game live. Things get messy, confusing, and hard to follow for those who aren't already at a high skill level. Even so, some players play with their cards going everywhere, meaning this physical interface sometimes makes it difficult to tell what's going on. It's no surprise that while the World Championship brings in a fair number of viewers, it's never really reached the viewership of other competitive esports. The beauty of an esport is how easily a viewer or fan can jump right into watching without missing a single beat. Even with games these fans have never played before, the interface is generally simple enough to at least follow along. If you're new to esports and your friends turn on a championship for League of Legends or Call of Duty, even without the faintest idea of what's going on, you can at least tell which team is winning. When you watch a game like these, you know when you see someone's character die, they lost. It's that simple. With keeping these simple foundations and coupling them with pleasing and easy to understand interfaces, esports have rocketed these companies into a whole new stream of revenue. Magic the Gathering, unlike true online card games like Hearthstone, is just far too complex and, dare I say, boring to become an esport. Esports, like Hearthstone, are designed to be played by the largest demographic possible, increasing its potential player base and vastly expanding its possible viewership. It's a game that's simple enough for children and brand new players to understand quickly, but complex enough to play at a high level. This means the game itself generates professionals while still maintaining a huge fan base willing to watch the game be played competitively. The complexity of Magic brings with it its greatest disadvantage. While it's amazing and strategic and exhilarating to play in person, it does a horrible job of transferring these emotions to the viewers. But hey, you say there's an online Magic game that's just as competitive as the real thing? Why can't they just use that to run their competitive scene? It would certainly make it more esporty, seeing that it's using an actual game interface, right? Well, kinda. The problem with MTGO is that while its interface is much cleaner, it still holds all the issues regarding its complexity. People will be watching and actually seeing what's going on, but many new players or non-players are just put off by everything going on anyway. Another reason why MTGO isn't Magic's esports saving grace is that its interface, while functional, is ugly. Let's be honest here guys, it's not the bee's knees when it comes to UIs. It's boring and plain, which won't help the game seem any more exciting. The bottom line is that no matter how high you increase the prize pool, within reason, it won't make MTG any more of an esport than it already is. Yes, people watch because it's exciting to see pros play for large sums of money, but it won't make anyone stay if they can't follow along, or if the interface isn't exciting to watch. The prize total also won't attract new viewers to the events. Someone who doesn't play MTG or has only limited knowledge of the game just won't want to watch these events the way they are now. So, who cares? These events should only be for MTG players anyway, right? Well, not unless you want Magic to be an esport. Becoming a legit esport means sponsors, advertisements, social recognition, basically everything good. It could spell the difference between competitive Magic falling to obscurity or becoming a viable career for pros that play it. Obviously, there's a lot of concerns about MTG's esports success moving forward, and I have a few ideas of ways they could possibly fix it, but that's a topic for another video. However, I am curious what you guys think about this topic. Do you believe MTG is a viable esport? What would you do to make it more pleasing to watch? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like and subbing to the channel. It goes a long way in supporting future content. You can also support my videos by following me on social media to stay up to date on all things MTG and becoming a patron on my Patreon. In any case guys, thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you next time.